All right, we are talking 405A Division One with my guy Rickan Holmes, and we're going to talk about Chisholm Trail and how you guys made it in the postseason. Had that, man? It's one thing to make the postseason, and you look at it and you see you got a Lido. It's like, all right, hey, remember, boys, we made the postseason. All right, don't worry about that. But talk about the success of your team last year, especially after realignment, getting yourself into a new district with a lot of Fort Worth teams.
Well, first thing, just changing the culture here at Chisholm Trail High School. Since the conception of this school in 2012, every sport on this campus has had some kind of success during district and postseason, except for the football team. This was the first year that, as a football team, we won more than 4 games. We went 7-4, first time in school history making the playoffs. So this put us in a position where we can change the culture and the mindset of our overall football program and let people know that we actually can play football around here. So getting to that point, yeah, we made the postseason, and we ran into a Lido, which I'm glad that we ran into a team like a Lido our first time going to the playoff, because now our kids know what programs look like to get to that point. And I tell them all the time, Lido started out just like y'all. It wasn't always successful. It was a long time before Tim Buchanan came there and turned the program around and got it rocking and rolling before it became the Lido that it is right now. And then, starting that tradition, having that success and keeping it going, it had to do with great coaches being there and some great kids being there. And I see that we got some great kids that's here at Chisholm Trail.
Yeah, and the building process, to me, it may have even started in week 2. I mean, that legacy win, it had to be a way to get back to the locker room and say, look, we just took out a 6A team. Yeah, we know what we got here. Did that kind of springboard you into district play?
I think it did. I look at that game. I look at the ODY game. In years past, this team would have gave up on a game like that came close. But we learned how to fight. We learned how to work together. We learned that the process that we went through during off season got us ready for those games in August and September and October. So having a second year of off season, I'm seeing the big improvement that I wanted to see out of the kids, and then just having my coaching staff here that I didn't have in last off season.
Yeah. Well, let's look ahead to 2025, because you just finished spring practice. Besides staying healthy, what did you like most about what you saw out there at spring practice?
Well, the development of our O-line, development of our quarterbacks, seeing how much growth we had in our defense, understanding that we got a pretty good football team that's coming back from what we had last year.
Yeah, you definitely on the offensive side of the ball, you got a quarterback coming back, you got running backs coming back. Talk to me about offensively what you like about what you have coming back for this year's team.
Well, first of all, we got some depth on the O-line. We got a lot of guys that's returning from the O-line. We got some quarterbacks that we started developing last year, knowing that we was going to lose the senior quarterback this year, and making sure that we put ourselves in a position to where we can continue the success that we started here at Chisholm Trail High School. So O-line, quarterback development, coming back with the running backs. Our running backs was our strong point last year, along with the big-time receiver that we had, Amari Johnson, that ended up going to state in long jump, and now he's going to be signed tomorrow with McMurray University.
Yeah, talk about those running backs, though, because I know you got Rodriguez coming back. Talk about some of those guys.
You come back with a 1,300-yard back, Quintana Williams. You come with a 700, 800-yard back, Ethan Westover. You come back with Crystal Madeira that didn't get to play last year because he broke his arm in the scrimmage. So you add him to the equation along with Rodriguez. You got pretty good backfield back there, along with Quaylen Mason that done double duty along with Quintana Williams at linebacker and running back.
What did you see on defense during spring practice? I know you had to be looking for somebody to step up in certain positions. Did you see that, and who might some of those players be?
Well, it's the same guy that contributed last year and had an immediate impact, like Aiden Reeves on the D-line, Harrison House, Aiden Woods, our linebackers, Ethan Guthrie, Isaac Holmes, Quaylen Mason, Caleb Forrester. Then you got in the secondary, Cameron Booker, Jordan Goodwin-Allen. Now you got 2 corners that got to come on and play well and replace Chris Gallardo and Terrence Dukes. You got Caleb Burrell. You got a freshman that's coming up, going to be a sophomore named Montez. Then you got the other corner, Freddie Young. So, when you look out there on the field and you see them 6'1", 6-foot corners, and you see them big safeties back there at 6'3", 6'1 and a half, it looks very intimidating. And then when they come down here and they start smacking people in the face and doing what they do with their football pads on, then it becomes really more intimidating.
No doubt, no doubt. I guess lastly, talk about the district, because you're still going to have Saginaw and Arlington Heights up there. Jaworski hasn't graduated from Wyatt yet, so he'll still be around.
He is that.
Talk to me what you might have to fight through to get back into that postseason over there.
Well, first and foremost, we all know that, you got to fight with the Arlington Heights and the Pascals. They are one of the top teams along with us in the district. I know Saginaw had a great year last year, but I also know they lost a lot. So what they have coming back, they're still going to play some good football, but they're not going to be as oohing and ahhing as they were last year, because that program was built to have the season that they had last year. They went through their lumps the first 2 years, and that third year really panned out for Coach Peters and them. OD Wyatt is uber talented. I tell people all the time, pound for pound, OD Wyatt is probably the most talented team in our district. They just don't have the numbers.
Right.
Their starting group is probably better than anybody's starting group in our district. But it's after that, what do they have? So you got to play a team like that. Trimble Tech is going to be better this year. If the numbers improve for Polytech, they'll be a little better. They got some guys in some key places that can help them compete. Northside should be very competitive this year. So you look at all those guys like South Hills. South Hills is a team that they stay steady. They're not uber talented, but they're never down in the dumps either. So they always got the tools and the mindset to do what they need to do. So, on the outside looking at, everybody looks at Fort Worth and they say, "Oh man, you got a great district, you got a great deal." We still got to go play football.
Yeah,
everybody in our district can still play football. They're just not known to play football.
Right.
I found out going through our season is that because they can play football just as well as anybody in the state of Texas.
Yeah,
they're just not known for because of the district that they get thrown into, and they're just not equipped enough to handle that.
Well, it's going to be fun, Coach, man. I appreciate you taking time out. Looking forward to the season. I know we're 3 months away, but it's still coming. It's coming. I appreciate.
Like I said, we just wrapped up spring ball. Had a great spring ball. Found some players that we're gonna need to create the depth that we're gonna need to make the run that we're supposed to make this year. And then 7-on-7 is coming up. We got some great league play that we're gonna have with Crowley and Burleson and North Crowley and some of the Arlington schools to get us ready for our SQT. And hopefully we qualify this year. We got close last year, but hopefully we qualify this year.
Oh yeah, that'd be an awesome step right there. All right, Coach, I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.